Now I was able to get approved for a business line of credit for $25,000. Fam, y'all see where we at, man. We at the bank. You already know what it is. So yeah, man, got some crazy data points to share with you guys. Basically, to summarize what just happened, just closed on a business line of credit yet again. Another business line of credit, First National Bank of Pennsylvania, and they actually opened a branch right here in Maryland. So I do want to share some data points here. Let me just hold this real quick. But yeah, just got another line of credit, nothing too serious, 25K. And I do want to share some data points on that process because, you know, it was actually a pretty straightforward process. Now, one thing about a lot of these, I guess, mid-sized banks, they're really about, you know, doing business, right? I really love the vibes I got from the bankers in here, and they're really trying to compete. That's one thing about the credit unions, the mid-sized banks, they're really trying to compete for your business. Now, right across the street, you know, I go to Truist as well, which, you know, I have a lot more, you know, more extensive relationship with. And they know that. I told them that, you know, and they understood that. And so they're trying to win my business over. You know, they want me to bring more deposits over here, you know, give me lines of credit, give me credit cards, provide more banking services. And so one of the strategies you could actually use with these financial institutions when you have, you know, a viable business, you know, you can make these banks compete for your business, right? You know, because at the end of the day, when you're a good customer, when you have revenue flowing, when you have good credit, you become an asset to these different financial institutions. And that's really how you play some of these, you know, banking relationships. All right, so another business line of credit. Now, before we dive into all the data points, I just wanted to share how we arrived at this. Now, the first part of this video was filmed sometime back in July when I was actually able to get approved for the business line of credit with First National Bank of Pennsylvania. Now, one of the weird things I do whenever I'm driving around, I'm always on the lookout for financial institutions so that I can research and extract different data points. So lo and behold, one day I'm driving down the street and I see FNBO of Pennsylvania, and I'm in Maryland, mind you. So I decided to go in, gather some data points, see what types of products and services they have to offer. They offer a host of different financial products on the personal and on the business side. But for this video, I wanted to focus on the business side. So there's business credit cards, business lines of credit, business term loans, business vehicle financing. They have commercial real estate financing, investment financing. So right here, I'm just logged into my account. Now I'm gonna share some of the things that I learned along the way. Now I was able to get approved for a business line of credit for $25,000. Now in terms of the application process, right? So there's a couple key things to keep in mind. So they did a hard pull on TransUnion, right? So there is a hard pull on TransUnion, I believe, for all of their credit products. And they also pulled PayNet. So for those who don't know what PayNet is actually a subsidiary of Equifax. So Equifax owns PayNet. Now, PayNet specifically focuses on financial trade data. So business credit cards, lines of credit, business loans. So that type of information is reported to PayNet, financial trade lines. So that's a very interesting data point. So they use both of those to determine your eligibility for a business line of credit. And another thing that they will require is your most recent business tax return, right? So that's another thing. So they only require 1 year. Now, this may vary depending on the amount that you're requesting. And so a couple other things I wanted to note is that for me, at least, there was no 4506T. For those who don't know what a 4506T, it's a tax transcript verification directly from the IRS. So a lot of lenders may request this where they pull in your tax transcripts directly from the IRS. I didn't have to provide bank statements. So that was another thing. So all I had to do was a hard credit check. They pulled PayNet and I just provided them with my CPA prepared tax return. So I was only able to get $25,000. Now, one of the reasons why, and I actually learned this after the fact, because initially, you know, I was expecting, and they were actually telling me, you know, you might qualify anywhere, you know, 50 to 75K, but they came back with 25K, which was a little disappointing. But one of the reasons why I wasn't able to get a higher amount is because FNBO of Pennsylvania is a relationship bank, right? So they put a big emphasis on your deposit relationship, right? So the longer you've been a customer, the more deposits that you have coming in is, going to increase your internal score. So pretty much what they revealed to me was that, I was a brand new customer. So I think I applied for a checking account first, and then maybe a couple weeks later applied for the business line of credit. And so it was a very short time frame. Also, I didn't have that much money in the business checking account at the time of application. So one thing I would recommend, and again, this is not financial advice, but if anyone is considering applying to First National Bank of Pennsylvania, I would recommend that you open up a business checking account prior to applying for any of the credit products, because they do put an emphasis on having that banking relationship. And this is something that was revealed to me directly from one of the representatives that I worked with. Now, another important fact I wanted to share was that when it comes to applying for different credit products with FNBO of Pennsylvania, you actually can't apply directly on their website. So all of the applications go through a representative. So there's no instant application or anything like that. It's more of a manual sort of process. Again, they are a relationship bank. So, usually they'll have a conversation with you, find out a little bit more about what your financial needs are, and kind of, come up with different products and services. So let's recap some of the different data points. So a hard pull on TransUnion. They also will be pulling PayNet, and they will require the last year's tax return. Now, mind you, this is on amounts less than 100,000. Now, if you want higher amounts, let's say over 100 or 150,000, there might be different, documentation that you have to provide. Now, overall, I got a good vibe from FNBO. Definitely an aggressive mid-sized bank that's looking to compete with some of the larger financial institutions, and they are making a big push into a lot of different areas. So, of course, they're based out of Pennsylvania, but even where I'm at in Maryland, I know they're expanding like crazy. I don't even think they've been here for more than a year and a half or so at this point. Now, I did want to share that I do have an inside contact. Now, again, all the applications are processed manually. Some of y'all might be familiar with my boy Jay, part of the Credit Plug family. He's done several videos. So he decided he wanted to be the educated brother at the bank. And so he actually processes business loans and personal loans at First National Bank of Pennsylvania. So if anyone's interested, I've dropped his contact information right down below. You have to go through a representative anyways, but why not go through someone who's already part of the Credit Plug fam? You guys might be a little bit familiar with him, so he can help you with processing your business line of credit, business loan, business vehicle loan, so many different products, and even some personal products. I know we didn't go over too many on today's video, but any banking products at FNBO of Pennsylvania, he can assist you with processing. I've dropped a link in the description of the video. You can just enter in your name, phone number, email. He'll reach out to you, shoot you an email, and you guys can coordinate from there. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Let me know your comments and questions down below. And until next time, take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.